Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia mswada wa kumbandua mamlakani Deputy Governor wa gatuzi la Kisii. Mheshimiwa Spika, kazi ambayo tumepewa kama maseneta ni kazi ambayo ni muhimu sana kitaifa, kwa sababu hii ndiyo njia ya pekee ambayo katiba inaruhusu kuhakikisha kwamba kuna sheria inafuatwa na watumishi wa serikali wale ambao wamechaguliwa, na vile vile wananchi wanapata matumaini kwamba iwapo muhusika atakuwa ametenda dhambi, iko taasisi ambayo inaweza kusimama na ikaweza kutoa hukumu juu ya yule mtu aliyehusika. Mheshimiwa Spika, japokuwa tumekaa kama mahakama, lakini hii si mahakama kamili, kwa sababu baadhi ya masharti ambayo yanatumika mahakamani hayakuweza kutumika hapa leo na jana. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, jukumu ambalo tumepewa ni jukumu ambalo ni la kimahakama, na maamuzi yataamuliwa kulingana na kura nyingi. Kwa hivyo tunapopiga kura tuzingatie mambo yafuatayo. Kwanza ni kwa yale mashtaka yameweza kuthibitishwa. Na kuthibitishwa sio kwamba tunaangalia beyond reasonable doubt, yani kupendukia. Tunaangalia tu katika ushahidi ambao umetolewa iliwezekana kwamba Bwana Monda aliitisha hongo la Laki8. Katika ushahidi ambao umetolewa inawezekana kwamba Bwana Monda alipeleka askari 20 wa gatuzi la Kisii kuweza kumshika ndugu yake, ambaye ndugu yule aliwekwa korokoroni kwa muda wa karibu siku moja. Mheshimiwa Spika, haya ni masuala ambayo lazima sisi tuyazingatie wakati tunatoa uamuzi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimefurahi kwamba baadhi ya mashahidi, na mashahidi hao Mheshimiwa Spika, mmoja ni Bilusi ambaye alitoa ushahidi wa kuregesha fedha Laki1 ambazo walikuwa wametumiwa na Bwana Monda, na Gladys. Mheshimiwa Spika, hii inaonyesha kwamba Wakenya bado wako Wakenya ambao bado wana imani na utendakazi wao. Mheshimiwa Spika, majuzi OCS mmoja nafikiri kutoka upande wa Isiolo aliweza kuregesha hongo kwa muhusika kwa sababu aliamini kwamba kuachilia jambazi ni makosa na akakataa hongo. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mashahidi wale ambao walikuwa hapa jana kuthibitisha kwamba pesa zilitumwa na zikaregeshwa wameweza kuthibitisha kwamba.
Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very sad day for Kisii County. And I happen to come from Kisii County. Mr. Speaker, our county is known for positive things, beautiful people, Mr. Speaker. As a matter of fact, our human resource from Kisii County is top-notch. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, you name it, Mr. Speaker. We are known to produce results, Mr. Speaker. So when I say this is a very, very sad day for Kisii County, I mean it, because it is the day that we have been subjected with so much negativity coming from Kisii County, Mr. Speaker. As I stand here, I want to tell my colleagues who have got, Mr. Speaker, we are nominated. So I might not have a vote today, but I have a voice. And Mr. Speaker, for me, it is very clear. Every single time we have had an impeachment motion here, we always say, where is the proof? Where is the evidence? Where is the fact? It is not about the story. It is about the proof and the evidence, Mr. Speaker. So when I looked at the transaction of 100,000 sent to a managing director so that they can give a job, Mr. Speaker, I was saddened because I knew that this is the sword that will bring down the deputy governor, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't have much to say. I just want to say this because I know there are senators here who are often known to sit on the fence, who are often known not to take a decision, Mr. Speaker. Today, I want to say to them and to others in the House,
What is your point
the
of order, Senator Manda?
hottest
Senator
places in
Oroba.
hell, Mr.
Senator
Speaker.
Gloria Oroba, there's a point of order. Kindly yield. What is your point of order, Senator Mandago?
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on Standing Order 105, Statement of Facts. Is it in order for Senator Gloria Oroba to impute improper motive that there are senators who sit in the fence in this House? The decision to vote or not to vote is on the individual senator of the House.
Senator Gloria, proceed to withdraw that statement. And
Mr.
apologize
Speaker,
to the
I withdraw and I profusely apologize.
Proceed.
However, I'd like to conclude by saying to people out there that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who, in times of great moral crisis, they maintain their neutrality. The evidence is there. Everything is there, Mr. Speaker. Let us take our responsibility seriously and make the right call. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ledama.
Mr. Speaker, these last 2 days, to me, will remain to be the saddest days in the institution of a family in this Republic of Kenya, and particularly the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. It reminds me of 1998, when I was a student in America, and the former president of the United States of America, William Jefferson Clinton family, was the center of the investigation. Where I come from, Mr. Speaker, a family is supposed to be a strong bond that unites all its members, that provides security, that leads people. But, and very unfortunate, we have been invited to be able to come in between a family. I'm so sad, Mr. Speaker, because I've seen a father testifying against a son testifying against a father, and the father roping in a stepmother. Mr. Speaker, what example are we showing to the younger generation? I'm torn in between, Mr. Speaker. Although I believe that in certain circumstances, it is imperative to be able to separate between family ties and integrity. Mr. Speaker, today I'm torn between a hard place and a rock. I've been invited to try and make a decision, to try and argue that whatever was being shown here is a family that has gone bad, that requires prayers. I want to invite you, my brothers and sisters, for the integrity of the family, to vote consciously and to remember that in certain circumstances, to be able to preserve the rule of law, you have to make those hard choices. I pray for the community of Kenyans who live in Kisii, that when their sons and daughters retrieve back and go after this event today, they can be able to reflect on the institution of a family. It is imperative, Mr. Speaker. I conclude by saying, although I've witnessed something that I never thought I would witness in my life, as I sit there, I remember 1998. I'd hoped that I would never see that in the history of Kenya. But because I've been invited to see it, I'll make a conscious decision.
Senator Wambua.
So when that being done,
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires that public officers, public servants, state officers, must bring honor and dignity to the nation and dignity to their offices. I will leave it to the conscience of the nation, Mr. Speaker, to judge whether or not the behavior and body language of the Deputy Governor of Kisii is fit for him to hold any public office. The Speaker, the Deputy Governor of Kisii has not just lied on oath and on record. He is at the center of a conspiracy to lie to the Senate for purposes of just exonerating himself from blame. Him and his co-conspirator must have a very dim view of the collective basic intelligence of the Senate. The Speaker, the easiest way out for the DG would have been to simply apologize to his brother. Simply fix the mess that he has put one Dennis and one Lucy in. We will not be here at midnight discussing his character. The Speaker, in the interest of time, I have to mention this. The key witness in defense of the DG has broken the hearts of millions of fathers and sons in the country. I want to take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to assure my son Emmanuel that if I am ever to put him in any mess, I will stand with him. It is a shame for a father to put a son in trouble and take a position against his own son. This is not a trivial matter. This is a serious matter. We must fix the mess in Kisii, and Mr. Speaker, for and on behalf of the great people of Kitui County, I will stand to be counted to fix the mess in Kisii County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to be very brief. Mr. Speaker, the allegation that poor parents and poor students in Kisii County are taken advantage of, Mr. Speaker, where they are required to give bribes in order for them to be awarded bursaries, Mr. Speaker, is not something peculiar with Kisii. This is something that is happening across the counties and across the constituencies, Mr. Speaker, where we have a very desperate students failing to secure a bursary, while some able people who can be able to produce bribes, Mr. Speaker, benefit from these bursaries. For that reason, Mr. Speaker, I think I will stand with the poor that seek bursaries but do not get them because those that can influence get bursaries, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we all have siblings at home. Some of them may not be as endowed as we are, Mr. Speaker. We cannot, Mr. Speaker, I was touched by the matter of a brother cutting down some trees, Mr. Speaker. Probably he did. Probably he was not right. Probably they were not his trees. But what is the value of some trees, Mr. Speaker, to a person holding the seat of deputy governor? Somebody elected 2 times, a long-serving vet, Mr. Speaker. I think if I was in that position, I would have just let the matter go and, in fact, decided that he's my brother anyway. His problems are my problems, Mr. Speaker. So, but the triviality expressed in that particular instance, Mr. Speaker, and the show of might, many county enforcement officers, Mr. Speaker, and the police just to arrest one man in order for somebody to show that they have a lot of might, Mr. Speaker. And I think that is abuse of office. Mr. Speaker, one thing that also did not go down well with me